If we have any questions, I'll take some questions and I'll see if I can answer curiosity.
Virgins like before getting married, and I thought that was interesting because it's such a Christian idea, but it's also in other cultures. I was curious to where that came from.
Yeah, well, that was always, again, when you're paying bounty for something, what are you paying for? Purity. Yeah. So, how do I be politically correct about this? No man at the time wanted any used goods.
And then the Garifuna people adopted like the yellow and red dyes for their clothing.
Yes, so our color, the yellow, white, and black, symbolizes our Amerindian mother, the union between our Amerindian mother and our African father, and we never lose that. And that was adopted. There's a history of when that flag was formed. So,
I was specifically referring to like the clothing you're wearing right now and in the pictures.
oh, we wear, and it's not a particular, so
Okay.
it's just your style, but I thought you were referencing to the, yeah. So
That is also very interesting.
Yes. So with our clothing, we love to be flashy. Okay, we love colors. We like bright colors. So you'll see some people, depending on their choice of colors. Usually, I will wear purple. Purple is my favorite color, and you'll oftentimes see me in purple outfits. So it just varies. It's our style preference. But in regards to the Garifuna flag, that was established. There's a history when Marcus Garvey, during the whole movement of trying to repatriate Black people back to Africa, he made a voyage to Belize, and before then, the men's shirt were called, we have a name for everything. So in Garifuna, the men's shirt is called Simisi. Marcus Garvey came during that time, I think, the Afro was going on, and pretty much Kunta Kinte cloths were being worn, and they were referred to as Daichiki. So during that time, when Marcus Garvey came to the Garifuna community, the Carib community there in Belize, he started calling the shirts Daishiki. Garifuna people started adopting that. My skirt, in my language, is called a gudu. Gudu. Underneath this is a full dress, a gown. Traditionally, this is a Garifuna wardrobe. You'll see in Honduras and Guatemala, and in Belize too, commonly wear the gudu and the gown. Versatile. Because these dresses are also, when you go into the farm, my grandmother as a kid, when my grandmother would go to the farm, she would pull it up because it would be longer. She would pull it up, tuck it in. She had her machete. We would go through the farm with her boots because you didn't want to get bitten by a snake. And you would go and you would farm. When she went fishing, of course, it's like a pants. You have it there. And then when you're pregnant, it was also a maternity ward. So you will pull the skirt up over here, and it was a pregnancy and maternity dress. Apron, so it was always versatile.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, I answered your question.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, because I'm wearing the full dress underneath, as you can see. So it's just tied here. Okay? It's just tied. So it's pretty much versatile. Again, maternity ward. Okay? Apron when you're cooking. Okay? And then depending, it's pretty much one size fits all. And you just tie it up, make a knot, and you're good to go. In the community, in rural areas. There's areas in Honduras, Garifuna areas, where they haven't had any contact with a lot of people. The only way to get there is by boat. And they maintain a lot of the traditions, and they just live by the land. Even in the village where I was raised up in, they've always said, you're gonna sink, this place is gonna sink. The next big hurricane, this place is off the map. We've said that many times. We go to higher ground. In one of the villages, Hopkins, it was Hopkins, it was lower ground. And of course, the great big flood washed that away. And so they had to move, to higher ground, which is it's called Newtown now. But people still refer to as Hopkins, Newtown, or whatever. So in other words, we just adjust. We adjust. Like here in the United States with global climates and everything like that, we adjust. But what's the immediate effect of what's happening in the Garifuna territories in Honduras right now is the tourism industry. We're getting displaced. When they ask, why are these people coming from Central America to the United States? We have the tourism industry. We have the fancy boats that are coming in. And whose land are they taking? The indigenous people's land. And for us, once you lose your land, you have nothing. These are lands that we've owned for centuries. We've farmed them, we've taken care of them, we live off the land. We don't need anything, we don't have doctors. The village that I lived in, we didn't have any doctors, everything was herbs. And Vicks for everything. But now, what's happening throughout, and what was happening in Belize too, was the land grab. And again, UNESCO has its purpose, but what happened years ago, I think in 2000, UNESCO declared it the tech gate of Afro-descendants. So what happened with that is that a lot of Garifuna people took on the identity of Afro-descendants. And what they did in Honduras was to use that against the Garifuna people who claim Afro-descendants. If you're claiming that you are indigenous to Africa, you have no indigenous land here in Honduras. So they used that as a way to steal Garifuna land. You won't hear about it here. They murder, burn, kidnap, jail, many Garifuna people. We've been fighting this for over 30 years. But you won't hear this on the local news. You won't hear it. You'll just say, why are they at the border? Because we're getting murdered. We're getting slaughtered for our land. We're getting slaughtered so they can build the next luxury hotel. And that continues to go. So that's like the immediate danger that's happening in Honduras. It was happening in Belize, for a minute, but then, of course, in Guatemala, we don't have that because we're protected in the proclamation that we are indigenous and that land was granted to us in Honduras. In Guatemala, so we don't really deal with that. But in Honduras, it's still happening. Garifuna people are getting killed every single day in Honduras for their land. A few of the things I'm going to familiarize you to. The hooga you're going to hear first. And the hooga is a spiritual dance, which we usually do in temple. And it's a way that we basically honor our ancestors. We usually begin all ceremonies with a hooga in honor of our ancestors. Yeah. Then the next thing you'll hear is parada. Parada is a social dance that you'll see. And then the chumba is where you get to see me. These are all the different artifacts that we use, and I'll be able to demonstrate. The chumba is a dance about demonstrating the different chores that we do with the instruments that we have. And then we also have punta. Now, most of the times when people see punta, if you Google punta, that's not punta. That is punta twerking. We don't punta twerk. When I demonstrate punta to you, it will be the traditional punta. In traditional punta, never touch. Men and females never touch. And believe it or not, punta is a funeral dance. You'll hear people say, oh, it's a maiden dance. No, it's a funeral dance.
The traditional Amerindian dance in a circle.
Anybody want to try and dance a little punta with me?
I would love to.
Come on.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Anybody else? Don't be afraid of the drums now. Let your feet feel the drums. Anybody want to try?
Don't miss out tonight at 6 p.m. on Telemundo. They'll have a special on Garifuna music. I think it's Dunia Aldir. She's a Honduran newscaster. She will have a special on punta music and the other genres. 6 p.m. Telemundo.
Anybody else want to dance? Or you want to hear more drums? More drums? Drums!
Also on Ottawa.
Who's going to dance?
This is the warrior dance. Put one Ottawa.
So traditionally, when our is danced like that. So Garifuna oral history is during the various wars that the British never attacked women and children. So one of the, goodness, I need to catch my breath. So one of the army strategies that the Garifuna developed was for the men to dress up like women and lure the soldiers into the center of town. Because at that time, they would put their defenses down, thinking that it was nothing but women and children and the men had left. So once the soldiers came into the center of town, of course the Garifuna warriors were, hiding strategically. They had camouflage and everything like that. So once the soldiers entered the center, that's when they would attack. So traditionally, you would have some dancers dressed up like the Europeans with the white and black soldiers' uniform, and then you have some of the dancers dressed up, the male dancers dressed up like women to camouflage themselves. So this is one agua. I will do my best. It is a workout. So do we have any more questions or anything?
So basically, they the thing you were talking about earlier, where they had people disguised as women, so they can so basically they were just catfishing the Europeans.
Yeah! Basically. It worked. Because again, 150 years war of fighting.
The
it
thing
out.
is, in Los Angeles, the large Garifuna community, which numbers about 100,000, They come together during Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and they dance in the streets of Los Angeles just like they do it back home. So what they do is they go from home to home. They pre-arrange with the owners of the different properties, and so they invite them to come and dance. So they usually do a 45 to maybe 1 hour stop, and they dance for that family, and people throw money on the floor. It's just so festive, so nice.
So
And
you
it's
can
an all
Google
day.
everything that I spoke about. You can Google it on GahfuChannel.com. I'm sorry, Gahfu on YouTube.com, GAAHFU, and you'll be able to find all of the information about Garifuna history, the different genres of dance, and other lessons. If you want to learn the Garifuna numbers, days of the weeks, and everything, they're also available on Gahfu channel. Thank you so much for